In the heart of the forgotten town of Ravenshadow, amid decaying trees and fading memories, lies an ancient morgue with a chilling secret. This town, lost to time, is cradled in the arms of nature's forgotten children, trees that creak and groan as if whispering tales of a time long past. Ravenshadow, with its cobblestone streets and antiquated architecture, is a haunting silhouette against the backdrop of time's relentless march forward. Nestled in its centre, as if the heart of this ghostly town, stands an ancient morgue. Its cold, sterile walls echo with the hushed whispers of the townsfolk, their fearful murmurs painting an eerie picture of the mysteries that lie within. They speak of strange occurrences, of flickering lights and chilling draughts, of shadows that move and whispers in the silence. These tales, told in hushed tones and anxious glances, add a shroud of dread to the morgue's already grim facade. Underneath the flickering fluorescent lights, Dr. Vincent Blackwell, the lone mortician, prepared for another night of solitude and silence. Or so he thought. As the clock struck midnight, an unusual hum echoed through the morgue, unnoticed by Dr. Blackwell, engrossed in his work. The hum, soft yet insistent, seemed to vibrate through the sterile cold of the morgue, breathing an unnatural life into the room. In the deathly quiet, the flickering fluorescent lights illuminated an eerie sight. The toe tags on the lifeless bodies began to glow, casting a spectral light on the stainless steel tables. As if in response to some unseen conductor's baton, the bodies began to twitch, their movements slow and uncoordinated at first, then growing more deliberate. A chilling spectacle unfolded as the corpses, one by one, sat up, their glassy eyes staring blankly into the distance. A distorted melody reminiscent of a waltz, yet imbued with a discordant harmony, filled the air. The bodies, now puppets to an unseen force, descended from their tables and started to move in a grotesque dance. It was a sight that defied all logic and understanding. The lifeless bodies twirled and glided across the morgue floor, their stiff limbs moving with an eerie grace. The cadavers seemed to dance with an uncanny synchronicity, as if they had rehearsed this morbid performance in the afterlife. Dr. Blackwell, his spine tingling with an inexplicable chill, turned around to witness the grotesque tableau. His eyes widened with horror and disbelief as he beheld the macabre spectacle. The morgue, once a place of finality and rest, had become a stage for the dead's unholy dance. The haunting sound of footsteps and the creaking of joints echoed around the room, adding to the discordant waltz. The animated corpses danced around Dr. Blackwell, their lifeless eyes seeming to bore into his very soul. Paralyzed with fear, he could only watch as the macabre waltz reached its crescendo, the chilling melody filling the morgue. Then, as suddenly as it had begun, the music stopped. The room fell into an oppressive silence, the dancing corpses frozen in their grotesque poses. The morgue once again became a place of deathly stillness, the spectral dance a chilling memory imprinted on its cold, sterile walls. Paralyzed with fear, Dr. Blackwell could only watch as the macabre waltz reached its crescendo, then abruptly fell silent. In the chilling silence that followed, Dr. Blackwell, trembling, approached one of the lifeless figures. His hand, shaking from an amalgamation of fear and disbelief, reached out to touch the icy skin of the corpse. As his fingers made contact, the bodies, as if on cue, collapsed back onto their tables, returning to their eternal slumber. The morgue, once echoing with the haunting sound of the spectral waltz, was once again a chamber of stillness and death. The flickering fluorescent lights, casting long, eerie shadows on the stainless steel tables, seemed to mock the doctor with their mundane normality. Yet the memory of the macabre spectacle was burned deep into Dr. Blackwell's psyche. From that night on, every flicker of light, every sound in the silence, would conjure images of the lifeless bodies twirling in an unholy dance. The town of Ravenshadow was no stranger to hushed whispers and shared glances, but after that fateful night, the whispers grew louder, the glances more frequent. The townsfolk, once indifferent to the ancient morgue, now regarded it with a newfound dread. They avoided the morgue after dark, leaving it as an island of fear in their otherwise peaceful town. The spectral dance became a part of Ravenshadow's lore, a chilling tale told in hushed tones around crackling fireplaces. Some claimed it was the restless souls of the departed, seeking solace in their unnatural movements. Others saw it as a warning, a grim reminder of the thin veil that separates life and death. Dr. Blackwell bore the brunt of this lasting impact. His nights were plagued with nightmares, his days filled with the haunting memory of the Macabre waltz. The once routine task of preparing the deceased for their final rest became a test of courage, a battle against his own fears. And so, the ancient morgue in Ravenshadow became a place of dread, a grim reminder of the unholy secret that lurked within its walls, and a haunting memory etched deep into the mind of Dr. Blackwell.